Hola y mucho gusto. My name is Jennifer Robin Lee. If you're not already familiar with my story and my reason for being here, let me share it with you. I'm a Canadian now living permanently here in the massive metropolis of Mexico City. I have a little family who I brought with me, 2 little girls who absolutely love it here. They go to a bilingual school while I work remotely as an e-marketing professional. After I moved to Mexico, I wrote a book called How to Not Run Away to Mexico, because I felt compelled to help people who might make the same mistakes that I had. I was hearing so many horror stories and so much misinformation from people who didn't have much experience or knowledge about actually living here. You know, it's really easy to get free advice, and a lot of people look for that, but sometimes you get what you pay for, and bad advice can cost you dearly in the end. Not if you agree. So after the book, I also created a website to help people struggling to find the right information about the immigration system here. Why? Because of my own personal experiences of trying to immigrate here. First, I found it difficult to navigate the immigration system. You know, it took me quite a few failed attempts. I've been trying for years to get it right. I kept having to return to Canada and restart the process. Second, I'd been relying on inaccurate information. I'd found some details that, while they sounded great online or made sense to me, they ended up being totally outdated or inaccurate. Third, I didn't have enough money to sustain the lifestyle I wanted. My plans to live off my savings didn't quite work out that way. I ended up having to find a way to support myself by working online in Mexico. By the way, if you haven't already read my ebook, which details all the major screw-ups and the misunderstandings I went through, I encourage you to do that as soon as you can. Feel free to download the book as a course member. You'll find access to it below this video. So really, I feel compelled to help people settle in Mexico without unnecessary pain or suffering. Because if you come unprepared, those little inconveniences can turn out to be big, costly hassles. Every time I hear about or read about someone who wanted to live in Mexico and how they were planning to just pick up and leave their home country, it seemed like they were a little uninformed, or maybe they didn't really have a full picture of the process. It's like they had huge holes or gaps in their plan. And I have to share a little secret too. This is extremely uncomfortable for me to step out of my comfort zone, to share my story, and to do it by video. But I know that it is going to be worth it for you in the end. Now, we didn't create this course as a product or a service to just sell to you. Our vision and dream for you is personal transformation, and everyone goes through that here. We want you to not only be mentally, physically, and financially prepared to live in Mexico, but we hope you will also join our mission to reach out and help others too. We're building a strong and supportive community for all of us. We're here because of our common interests, right? A life in Mexico. Isn't that the truth? To create this course, we decided to sit down with people we knew and discuss what helped them feel more secure and more happy living in Mexico. We kept finding others who also wanted to tell us their stories too. Everyone we spoke to thought it was a great idea to help people figure out how to move to Mexico. They were also interested in creating a vibrant and fun and inclusive and supportive community. So really, folks, my heart is in this to help you transform and to build a life here in Mexico. And most of all, to help you enjoy the adventure you're about to embark on. You won't regret it, I promise. Now, before we begin with the course lessons, make sure you watch the next video. This is where you're going to get some tips on how to get the most out of this course. And remember, you can download your free copy of my ebook below. Read that through if you like. Click the next button below, and we'll see you in the next video.